What's up, everybody? The moment we all been waiting for, the next update for Core Keeper is coming out. My name is All Fun and Games. I stream every day on Twitch TV, and I also do fun little videos here on YouTube. Okay, so this is going to be the release notes for the next Core Keeper update. I hope you're ready for it because it's going to be pretty good. I made a previous video explaining that they basically gave us a little bit of vague information saying, okay, get ready, there's going to be dedicated servers, and we're also going to be changing a little bit to how things get repaired. That being said, let's go ahead and talk about everything that, I didn't get a chance to kind of touch on because they didn't really give us that information. But now they did because, we get to have a chance the day before to talk to you about it on YouTube and kind of go over all the stuff. And of course, tomorrow we'll be able to actually experience it together. It's going to be in a open beta branch, so you're going to be able to opt into it. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to, but it's going to be available for everybody. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to read it word per word so, you can actually follow along and kind of go through different things. I'll stop along the way, talk about any individual things that I feel that are very important to talk about as well. There's a patch going live tomorrow. It should be around 2 p.m. Only the experimental branch, and I wanted to share the patch notes ahead of time as well. AKA, it's going to be 0.3.9 experimental branch update. So once again, it's experimental update. If you don't know how to do that, you right click on your game, go to properties, go to beta, and boom, you're in the experimental branch. Of course, if you do something there and then you go back to the other branch, everything should still be there, but just understand that it's going to be different from your normal game, okay? Now, general. This is basically what they're showcasing. So there's general, there's balancing improvements, quality of life, bug fixes, etc. Under the general tab, it says dedicated servers are now available. Okay, so I had a huge question to this, meaning that can we rent servers like on Nitrado and stuff like that? They did touch base saying that this is something they're looking into, but it's not necessarily something that's going to be right now. The repair system has been reverted back to using the scrap parts as a result of working together with the gathering information to our feedback and from our community. The cost of scrap parts have been rebalanced, so higher tier items cost more scrap parts. Scrap parts can be gained through salvaging. Again, the current materials gained from salvaging are still gained as well. So, boom, we get now scrap parts back. So we're back to the way we were before. So hey, guess what? My thing's working again. So I'll have to make another update video on that. The Bearded Merchant now also sells scrap parts instead of wood. Pretty awesome. A reinforcement mechanic has been added that allows players to extend the durability of their items as well as giving the item a small stat boost. Reinforcing an item costs some of the item's crafting materials. Now that is cool. So we're gonna be able to actually take items and improve the quality of them. That's pretty awesome. Added scrap parts that can draw from destructible and some enemies as well. Higher tier hoes now cover a larger area. This works for both tilling and gathering plants in a larger area. Oh, that's cool. So it's kind of like a scythe. Added a digging damage stat to shovels that improves how many uses it takes to dig up from the ground. Health of ground has been rebalanced around the digging damage of shovels so that the higher tier shovels are more effective against lower tier ground and lower tier shovels are less effective against higher tier. Okay, so basically you get higher end shovels and aka like improving the quality of them, then you're able to shovel and change that's actually pretty good for like maneuvering terrain. I don't really do that much, but it's good. Added a scarlet hoe that can be crafted at the scarlet workbench. There we go. Added a scarlet shovel that can be crafted at the workbench. Awesome. Move the scarlet sword to be crafted in the scarlet anvil instead of the scarlet workbench. Makes sense. Large watering can now covers 2.2 tiles. More watering options coming later. Ooh, what does that mean? Sprinklers? Maybe? I'm assuming sprinklers. Fishing rods no longer have durability. That's actually better. I feel like they shouldn't. The change to gain kelp from fishing has been reduced, and we've added resources such as ores, wood, fiber, and scrap parts that can be gained from fishing. So you can get like little bonuses from doing that. That's pretty cool. Balancing improvements. Slightly increase the damage from the rune song. Okay. Increase the max health of bosses. All right. Azios and Rages add a bit higher health percentage. Okay. Quality of life. Other players can be made server admins from the pause menu. Players can be banned by admins from the pause menu. Okay, so that's actually good. I wish that they would add kick instead of ban. I'm a little bit like, I understand banning, but I really think that they need to add a kick instead of just straight ban. Anyways, added a button beside the game ID for admins to regenerate the game ID. That's really cool. I like that. Fix an issue. These are bug fixes. Fix an issue with water visual glitches glitching sometimes, fixed an issue where the second option, the pop-ups, would sometimes not become highlighted. Other players no longer take damage effect when their max health is reduced. Player's health bar no longer blinks when other players' max health is reduced. Fixed placement and digging being blocked by self for small period after moving away. Fixed enemies becoming invisible sometimes instead of dying. Fixed obsidian walls popping up sometimes after digging a pit. Fixed double graves if exiting while dying. I actually had that happen to me. Fixed recall idol being able to consume the wrong item if switched. Oh, that's what? That's a thing. Fix a recall idol being able to consume the wrong item if switch equipped right before teleport. And then decrease network bandwidth usage of Azios beams. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So overall, this is a big patch. It's a big thing getting used to dedicated servers. Everyone's going to obviously have to take their own feedback on this and kind of talk to them and let them know how you feel. I hope that this means that we're going to see a lot of companies come into play and start working with Core Keeper. I'm assuming they will. Rado's pretty good on that. They like to work with a lot of indie companies because they know that games like that are really sought after. It does take a long time to implement their servers though, so probably won't see this very soon, but that is still pretty awesome. So go out there, experience that dedicated server. Now, I'm going to make a follow-up video on this tomorrow, of course, when all the mechanics get released. I probably won't play around too much on the dedicated server side of things because for me, running a dedicated server doesn't necessarily matter too much because I always host and then end at because I don't really want the server to continue on. However, as I said before, if they ever did partner with Nerado, I would immediately have a server up for anybody to join, and it doesn't matter. A lot of interesting changes, pretty awesome. They added a ton of things, for different higher tier weapons. You can improve your weapons. That's pretty cool, or like improve different utilities. So that's awesome. I'm happy they're going back to the old scrap mechanic. So yeah, here's to that. Hats off. I'm excited to test it out and go back to the old way of scrap parts working with different tier stuff. So stay tuned for a follow-up video on that, but I just want to give you an update. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Get that experimental branch ready to go, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one, and have a good day.